We truly believe that the fourth industrial revolution actually brings with it efficiency, productivity, economical gains for us as a country. So while we talk about what is the impact for operators and maybe for ourselves, network technology suppliers, we actually look at the 4IR discussion and say it's a lot larger than that. So therefore, from our perspective, the more that we can jointly work as a country in order to address that and take the opportunity from that, the better for us as a country and as a society.
There's two really key critical things that we are trying to achieve. And also historically, even when you look at the previous industrial revolutions, it's about productivity and saving time. So we're not basically producing technology for the hell of it. It is really more about how do we make these industries far more operationally efficient, more productive, and take the mundane task and get them to be repeatedly done by either machines or any form of automation.
What we know about smart city is really it boils down to people's safety, the quality of life that we are living in the city, the interaction between the citizens and the government within that city, employing technology to solve significant problem like traffic jams, like inability to find parking, which causes chaos in the city. We can reduce accidents on the road and protect lives, save money in the city by making sure that the infrastructure that we count on, like lighting, for example, and signage, that's optimized to provide better experience at lower cost.
It's not a technology issue, it is more of an issue about how do you make the financial numbers work for the shareholders, for the investors, and also for the people on the streets. At the end of the day, the more that we can actually get connectivity out to the people in society, the more they can actually learn themselves, the more there's use cases which they can actually adopt.
When it comes to enterprise networks, from our perspective, we see these kind of networks as business and mission critical networks that are to provide connectivity for asset-intensive industries. And for that, there's different requirements as opposed to those that are generally required on consumer networks. And some of those examples that I can list in the mission-critical networks, these are typically networks that are about saving lives, safety, and for these networks to have any glitches, there would be a life lost, and therefore we cannot afford such instances. And for business-critical communications on the other side, this is about really trying to drive business efficiencies and operations within certain critical aspects of a particular industry.
But we strongly believe that there is a lot to leverage from the rest of the world. There are concepts that are being embraced that are highly relevant to the South African society. For instances, we have been able to automate the mining operations. We have seen utilities embracing the automation concept. So I think all of those are highly leverageable examples or experiences that we can bring into South Africa and customize them into the South African environment.
What we have seen is really quite a lot of adoption of the SD-WAN solution. We, from our development and technology perspective, have, as recent as last year, actually released the next generation of SD-WAN, which is our Nuage network VNS 2.0, which is basically SD-WAN 2.0. What it does basically is that we are now starting to see in the middle of the adoption of the first generation of the technology, there has been very much of a very restricted way in which you can actually consume your applications and services that you actually get delivered on-prem or branches. So what we're now starting to see is a multi-cloud, faceted type of approach where you can mix various services from different providers, from the local cloud, from your global cloud or OTT services, together with very tailored IoT services or security services from different providers actually being all consumed and collaborated into one branch or wherever the consumption of those particular services are actually consumed. It's the flexibility in which now you can actually consume the services and applications across multiple service providers in the sense.
We want to be at the forefront of new technology innovation. With technology such as 5G, if we can get the spectrum bands unlocked, of course we create an economy around that, which can create entrepreneurial assets. It can create businesses, and of course as South Africa we can export that to the rest of the continent. And therefore, if we look at that, it is important that actually that does get addressed. Because the more that we can efficiently provide services to end subscribers and to the consumer in general, the better for the population, the better for the country.